Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Junior High School English Competition of 2025. My name is Alicia,
My name is Evelyn.
and we are honored to be your MCs for today's event.
Before we begin, let's warm up the energy. When I say hi, you say hello. Ready? Hi.
Hello.
Amazing energy, everyone. It looks like you're all ready for today's competition.
All right, before we officially begin, let's lift up today's competition into God's hands.
We invite everyone to join us in a short opening prayer. Friends, let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for gathering us here today for the Junior High School English Competition of 2025. Thank you for allowing us to arrive safely. We ask for your guidance throughout this event. Bless the judges, the participants, and the committee with strength and with wisdom. May everything we do bring glory to your name. In Jesus' name we pray and give thanks. Amen.
Now, let's listen to a welcoming open speech from Mr. Engineer Pronomo Sigit.
Yang saya hormati ada rekan saya, Bapak Hendy, pengurus dari Penabur Jakarta. Kemudian juga ada Ibu Tri sebagai bukan tuan rumah ya, punya rumah ya Bu ya. Dan kemudian juga Bapak Ibu Kepala Sekolah dan para juri. Dan yang saya kasih juga anak-anak sekalian. Oh ya, ada guru-guru pendamping ya. Pertama-tama Shalom, salam sejahtera buat kita semua. Puji syukur tentunya kita panjatkan pada hari ini kita dapat memulai lomba untuk Junior High English Competition 2025. Tentunya ini ada suatu kegiatan yang menurut saya sangat penting, dan jika tujuannya mungkin dari anak-anak sekalian sudah tahu, dari guru-guru, tapi ada satu yang pesan saya mungkin adalah cara berbicara, artikulasi, dan intonasi, yang itu mungkin yang akan lebih menarik jika diucapkan dengan benar, maka tentunya akan lebih mengena kepada sasaran. Dan saya kira itu saja yang saya sampaikan. Terima kasih, selamat berlomba. Maaf saya memakai bahasa Indonesia, karena dulu saya di sekolah setingkat SMP kalian, guru bahasa Inggris saya sering saya kacau, akibatnya adalah seperti saya saat ini. Sekian, terima kasih, selamat berlomba.
Thank you so much, Mr. Insigne Purnomo, for the wonderful welcoming speech. All right, next up, let's enjoy the performance of our amazing dance team from SMPK 6 Penabur.
competition briefing dulu.
Tarian apa? Ya itu tentang apa? Ini tarian apa biar mereka di deskripsi menjelaskan.
Atau kita competition briefing dulu aja sih.
Boleh.
Okay, so we're going to watch the dance performance a little bit later on, but now we're going to do our competition briefing. All right, this year's competition consists of 4 competitions. They are
There's storytelling, speech, newscasting, and debate. The storytelling competition will be held here in the main hall. The speech will be held in classroom 8D, which is located on the 3rd floor. Newscasting will be held in the library, which is located on the 2nd floor. And debate will be held in classroom 8E for debate 1 and 8F for debate 2. And they're both located on the 3rd floor.
each competition will take place in its designated rooms, so please make sure to head to the right venue according to your category.
All right, so here are the list of judges for each competition. First, there's the storytelling competition. The judges are Guillermo Jose Chang, Sean Flood, and Tomaso Gatti.
For speech, we have Jamie McKinnon, Robbie Alvarado, and Rohan Batty.
In newscasting, we have Anastasia Donkova, Ma Jalimar Jamias, and Valerie Asana.
For team debate A, we have Andrew Grindham, Ernie Venegas, and Jason Ramsey.
For the judges of debate team B, we have Richard Erwin Binney, William Stahl, and Stuart Watson.
All right, now we are going to watch our dance performance by our dance team from SMPK 6. Please welcome our dance team. Wow, that was such a cool performance, don't you think?
I agree, they were so in sync, and I really love their outfits. It's so colorful.
All right, moving on, since there are a few participants who have just arrived here in the main hall, we're going to go over the competition venues again. All right, this year's competition consists of 4 competitions. They are
There's storytelling, speech, newscasting, and debate. The storytelling competition will be held here in the main hall. The speech competition will be held in classroom 8D, which is located on the 3rd floor. The competition newscasting will be held in the library on the 2nd floor. And the debate competition will be held in classroom 8E for debate 1 and 8F for debate 2. And both of them are located on the 3rd floor.
Please make sure to know your designated room so you will not be late for your competitions.
All right, that wraps up today's opening. Every participant may go to their designated rooms.
This has been Alicia.
And Evelyn, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, once again to repeat, we are going to start this competition. For those stay here, it's for storytelling. Storytelling will be here, and then speech and debate will be on 3rd floor, and then newscasting is on 2nd floor. You may prepare, and close to the venue is the waiting room. And the waiting room for you storytelling here is music rooms. In front of this hall, music room, you may prepare there. And each categories, you have your own waiting room near to the venue. May the English teacher may assist or help the students to prepare. Thank you. And for the principal, I prepare you the waiting room in the 2nd floor. You may take photos, and then what else? And then you may enjoy the live streaming. I already shared the links to the Ibu Triana and also English WhatsApp group for live streaming for each categories. Saya udah WK itu.
Selamat datang di SMPK Penabur, Jakarta. BPK Penabur merupakan lembaga pendidikan Kristen yang berada di bawah naungan Gereja Kristen Indonesia, yaitu GKI. BPK Penabur tersebar di 15 kota dan 4 provinsi, yaitu Jawa Barat, DKI Jakarta, Banten, dan juga Lampung. Sebagai sekolah yang memiliki moto iman, ilmu, dan pelayanan, BPK Penabur memberikan pelayanan berdasarkan nilai-nilai Kristiani. Dengan visi menjadi lembaga pendidikan Kristen unggul dalam iman, ilmu, pelayanan, serta misi mengembangkan potensi peserta didik secara optimal, melalui pendidikan dan pengajaran bermutu berdasarkan nilai-nilai Kristiani, BPK Penabur Jakarta, khususnya jenjang SMP, memiliki program-program unggulan baik intrakurikuler maupun ekstrakurikuler. Program-program tersebut bertujuan untuk mengembangkan karakter peserta didik seperti Pumping Up Achievement, Das Character, dan PKBN 2K. Selain itu, ada juga program-program yang bertujuan untuk meningkatkan keterampilan dan kepemimpinan peserta didik dalam rangka menyambut revolusi industri 5.0, seperti program OSIS, MPK, Pramuka, dan juga Ekskul. Serta ada juga program-program yang bertujuan untuk menumbuhkan semangat entrepreneur di era digital seperti Yes Generation. SMPK Penabur Jakarta memiliki 17 sekolah yang tersebar di Jabodetabek. 3 sekolah di Kota Tangerang, yaitu SMPK Penabur Gading Serpong, Bintaro Jaya, dan Kota Modern. 1 sekolah di Jakarta Barat, yaitu SMPK 7, 2 sekolah di Jakarta Utara, yaitu SMPK 4 dan SMPK 6, 3 sekolah di Jakarta Pusat, yaitu SMPK 1, SMPK 2, dan SMPK 3. 1 sekolah di Jakarta Timur, yaitu SMPK 5, 1 sekolah di Jakarta Selatan, yaitu SMPK Penabur Tirta Marta Pondok Indah, 2 sekolah di Kota Depok, yaitu SMPK Penabur Depok dan Tirta Marta Cinere. 3 sekolah di Bekasi, yaitu SMPK Penabur Harapan Indah, Jababeka, dan Sumarekon Bekasi. Dan 1 sekolah di Cibubur, Kabupaten Bogor, yaitu SMPK Penabur Kota Wisata. Informasi lebih lengkap mengenai SMPK Penabur Jakarta dapat diakses melalui tautan atau QR Code berikut.
Ya sure, ini work. Ini worknya gimana sih ngomongnya?
Oh ya, oke. Tes. Tes.
Good Good morning, judges, teachers, and all participants of Junior High English Competition 2025. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you for the JHEC storytelling category today. My name is Sophie, and I'll be your MC for today's storytelling competition. First of all, let me introduce you to our team who's gonna help this competition run smoothly. We have our timekeeper, Jesslyn, over there, our flag raiser, Robin, and our ushers, Jocelyn and Jeremy. Before we start, here are the rules for this competition. Rule number 1. The story that must be told by the participant should follow the drawing results in the technical meeting. Rule number 2. Reading directly from a book or magazine is not permitted. Rule number 3. Each participant must introduce his or her name and the title of the story he or she is presenting without mentioning his or her school names. Rule number 4. Time is between 4 to 7 minutes, including the introduction. Rule number 5. Rule number 5. The committee will give the following flag signals to inform the participants of the remaining time. The green flag will be displayed to show the participant has entered the safe zone. The yellow flag will be displayed when there is 1 minute time remaining, and the red flag will be displayed when the time is up and the participant must stop. So what are we waiting for? Let's start this competition with contestant number 1, Richella Evangeline Quincili Muso.
1, 2, 3. Hello? Why is it low? Far in Halmahera, where the cliff meets the roaring ocean, there lies a place called Tanjung Menangis, the cliff of tears. And today, I, Richella Evangeline Quincili Musu, will tell you why it received that name, and why the earth itself rose against one man. And that is King Binaut. When the old king died, the kingdom grieved. The successor was the eldest son, Baginda Arif. But Binaut, the second son, could not accept being second. In the secret chamber, he met the noble council and offered them gold. Support me, and you will never know poverty again. And so the noble bowed to him. Yes, your majesty. And the next morning, an announcement came up in the town square. All hail the new king, Baginda Binaut. Now tell me, would you trust a king chosen by gold and greed? Never. Power filled Binaut's veins like fire. But a crown was not enough. He wanted a castle bigger than any before it, reaching towards the sky. And so he doubled taxes and then tripled them. Farmers lost their land. Merchants lost their hope. Children cried from hunger, while stone after stone was lifted to build Binaut's dream. When his mother begged, Binaut, my son, stop this cruelty, Binaut looked away. And when Arif and Nuri confronted him, he grew furious and shouted, anyone who speaks against me is my enemy. And with one command, he imprisoned them all, his own family thrown into the darkness beneath his castle. But the earth does not forget injustice and does not ignore the cries of the innocents. Gunung Koru, the ancient volcano, began to tremble. At first, it was only a whisper. And then a growl. And finally, a roar so loud it shook Binaut's throne. Flame burst from the mountain's peak. Lava was shot into the sky. Ash rained down like black snow. People screamed, help! Help! There's lava! Help! But there was something strange. The lava moved, not downhill, but sideways, then uphill, following a path like a hunting beast. Now tell me, who do you think the lava was chasing? Yes, the one and only King Binaut. Binaut ran from his castle, crown slipping, feet stumbling. The lava surged towards him, a river of fire, with purpose, with anger, and with judgment. Binaut fled through the gates, across the fields, down to the old stone road. But no matter how fast he ran, the lava moved faster. Binaut reached the end of the cliff, cornered between the fire and ocean. Why me? I am your king! But the mountain answered only with a thunderous crack and a final scream that was shallowed by the sea wind. Ah! No! 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 And then silence. When the mountain cooled and the ash settled, the people began to search the cliff, and they only found a cool stone, kneeling, twisted, a broken crown at his feet, as if even the earth wanted the world to remember Binaut's downfall. And that is the end of the tale of a king who tried to outrun the truth. And learn that no one, not even all of us, can run faster than the justice of Earth itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have contestant number 2, Abigail Shalom Patricia Damaris Taridaulis Jabat.
Contestant 2 is in the waiting room. Is it comfortable or
No.
you want me to adjust it? I'm gonna have to set this up and can I put it in here? Or should I clip it on the back of your laptop?
Yeah. Can you adjust a little bit? Ya, Miss. Apa di belakang ya? It's a bit uncomfortable. Check.
Is it better here?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, but let me check. Check. Check, check. 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 So, do I give the scripts to the judges? Straight. Nandang. Oke. Udah, kayaknya butuh satu meja lagi, Mas. Iya, satu meja lagi.
Kursi nggak bisa?
Enggak, harus sih. Itu soalnya kurang tempatnya buat rumah padang. Udah, Miss. Aku udah bilang di WA. Tadi pagi.
Itu udah pas nih.
Kursinya agak ke depannya dikit, Mas.
Mejanya udah.
Meja, kursinya ke depannya dikit. Nanti bilang mulai musiknya kapan ya? Oke, nanti aku kasih tanda ke Mas. Ya? Iya, Mas. Boleh. Nanti aku kasih tanda ini, Mas. Tanda kayak gini buat mulai. Ya. Hi, excuse me. So this is one of my properties. This is rendang from West Sumatra. Thank you very much. Naiknya lewat mana, Mas? Check. 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 There is a tale from our village. It's about a boy who broke his mother's heart. Malin, Malin, maybe it's your curse making this whole village so hot. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there, honorable judges. Well, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make things up. But people say something really strange once happened here. If you'd like, let me, Abigail Shalom Patricia, tell you Malin Kundang's story. But first, have a taste of our special delicacies from West Sumatra, rendang. I bet it's so delicious. Okay, are you ready to hear it now? Once upon a time, in a small seaside village in West Sumatra, lived a widow named Mande Gubaya and her only son, Malin Kunda. He was everything she had. Every night, before he slept, Mande would sing for him. Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up, just stay this little. Years passed, and Malin grew into a strong young man. But deep inside him, a restlessness began to burn. He was tired living in a small hut, tired of poverty. Mom, I'm bored living in this village. I want to see the world and find fortune so we can live a better life. But Mom's heart trembled hearing that. Oh, my son, if you leave, who will take care of me? You're all I have left. But Mom, I cannot stay here and be mocked forever. I have to go. Honorable judges, what would you do if you were in Mande's position? Would you let your only son go? Well, with a heavy heart, Mande let go of his hands, and with tears sliding down her wrinkled cheeks, she whispered, "Go, my son, chase your better life, but please come back soon." Days turned into months and into years, but Mom never stopped waiting. Every time a ship arrived, she would ask about Malin, but no one ever knew. Do you know about Malin, my son? Have you ever heard of him? Do you know about Malin? Oh God, please bring him home safely. One day, a sailor came running towards her. Mande Gubaya, your son Malin, he's rich now and married to a noble lady from the city. Mande's heart leaped with joy hearing that. My son, he made it. I know he will come back. I know he will. Then the next morning, the village became crowded. A golden, shining, enormous ship waited by the shore. Malin and his noble wife walked out of it. Mande ran, stumbling upon the sand as she tried to reach her son. Malin, it's Malin! Malin, my son! My son, you're back! Why did you just send a letter? I've been waiting for so long! Malin!
Malin's wife looked at her with disgust. Malin, is this your mother? You told me your mother was noble.
I don't know her at all. He pushed his mother away. Malin, it's me, Monday, your mom. Don't you remember me, son?
But Malin snapped back.
My mother isn't poor, nor ugly, or filthy like you. I don't know you at all. With a torn heart, Monday staggered back. Malin! It's me, Monday! Your mom, Malin! Don't you remember me, son? I'm the one who gave birth to you, Malin! Shut up, old villain! Don't you ever dare say my name ever again! With a torn heart, Monday staggered back as she lifted her trembling hands into the sky. Oh God! God! If it's not my son, I will forgive him. Not if he truly Malinconda. Let her justice be done. Suddenly, thunder tore the sky open, and the wind howled violently. Sand rolls around Malin's feet. Mom! Mom! I didn't mean it! Mom! He tried to run towards her, but his legs stiffened, and his voice cracked into silence. Mom! In seconds, Malin Kundang turned into stone, right there on the shore, kneeling, frozen in regret, and being a reminder as God teaches us to love our parents like our mother's love. Never have to return. It's just like the sun, which is shining on this world. country, rich in culture. One of its treasure is the variety of folktales. As time goes by, folktales are often forgotten. But today, I'd like to tell you a fascinating folktale titled Roro Jongrang and the Legend of Prambanan. I hope this story will stay in your hearts. So, a long time ago, there was a kingdom named Baka. All the people of Baka lived peacefully. But then, the kingdom was attacked and occupied by the Pengging Kingdom. Baka was then ruled by Bandung Bondowoso, a powerful and cruel king. He possessed great supernatural powers, and his soldiers were not only humans, but also genies. The king of Baka had a beautiful daughter named Roro Jongrang. Bandung Bondowoso fell deeply in love with her and wanted to marry her. You're very, very beautiful. Would you be my queen? Roro Jongrang was shocked. She didn't like Bandung Bondowoso. He was mean and cruel. But she was afraid to refuse him because he might harm her people. Then, she came up with a clever plan. If you want to marry me, you have to build 1,000 temples for me in just one night. What? That's impossible! But he didn't give up. He called for his advisor. Do you think I can build 1,000 temples in just one night?
Maybe Your Majesty can ask the genies to build them for you.
So, Bandung Bondowoso summoned his army of genies. He commanded them to build the temples. The genies worked very fast. Day and night, stones flying through the air. Meanwhile, Roro Jongrang heard the news that the temples were almost finished. Oh no, what can I do? Then suddenly, she had another brilliant idea. Servants, prepare mortar and straw. Hurry up! Burn the straw and pound the mortar. Make it sound like dawn is coming. The servants quickly did what she said. They burned the straw, made loud noises, and pounding the mortar. The genius looked up and saw the bright light.
It's already done! It's already done! You must go!
All the genies stopped working, and they ran for cover from the sunlight they feared. But they didn't know the light came not from the sun, but from the burning star. When Bandung Bondowoso realized he had been tricked, he was furious. You cannot fool me, Roro Jongrang! I already have 999 temples. I just did one more. Now, I will make you the 1,000 temple. He pointed his finger at Roro Jongrang. He chanted his magic words, and suddenly, Roro Jongrang's body turned into stone. Until now, the temple still stands in the Prambanan area of Central Java.
people call it Rara Jongkrang Temple, a reminder of a clever princess and a broken-hearted king. From this story, we can learn not to be greedy and always keeping our promises. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. Have a great day. Thank you for listening.
That was such an amazing story. Can we give a round of applause for Angela? And now we'll move on to contestant number 4, Agneta Ivana Siregar.
Good morning to all of you. It's a pleasure to meet you here. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. I'm so excited to be here today. Oh, let me introduce myself. My name is Agneta, and today I'll take you on a journey to the magical island of Bali, where legends are alive. The story I'm about to tell you is called Ichupak and Igrantang. Once upon a time, in a peaceful Balinese village surrounded by green rice fields and warm sunshine, lived two brothers, Ichupak and Igrantang. Ichupak, the elder, was lazy and greedy, while Igrantang, the younger, was kind, brave, and honest. Though they were brothers by blood, their hearts were worlds apart. The day began like many others, the brothers in the fields, but only Igrantang worked. When evening came, Ichupak was told to go home first. But as soon as he left, greedy thoughts were whispered into him. He later said that he was the only one working. The lie slid smoothly off his tongue. When Igrantang eventually returned, their father's anger erupted. "Leave! A child like you brings only shame!" Igrantang's eyes filled with tears. Moments later, the guilt finally pressed at Ichupak's heart. He confessed the truth, trembling and desperate. He rushed out to find Igrantang, calling his name, his voice breaking in ways pride could never hide. When he found him, Ichupak apologized, but it didn't take long for Ichupak to satisfy his greed again. When Igrantang went to fetch water, Ichupak ate all the food he had brought for them. Still, Igrantang forgave him, as he always did. Their wandering brought them to Kediri, a kingdom wrapped in fear. All shops were closed. Then a rice seller finally told them that the princess has been kidnapped by a giant Benaru. The king offers a reward to anyone brave enough to save her. And so, the two brothers were brought before the king. The king trusted them with a sacred weapon and a golden ring of royal ring. The path to the cave was taken through forest. Well, Ichupakores was already gone before the cave was reached. On the other side, Igrantang was walking beside him steadily until the cave was finally seen in front of them. "Brother," said Igrantang, "if the royal spear fall eastward, you will know that I have won. But if it falls southward, then God have mercy on me. He stepped inside. There, towering monstrous Benaru held the princess. Benaru, let her go! The giant roared. Their battle shook the cave, light and shadow clashing like storms. Igrantang fought with every breath he had. For justice! For the princess! For the kingdom! At last, with one final desperate strike, he drove the sacred weapon into the monster's heart. Benaru fell above the cave. Despair fell eastward. Igrantang had won! He called upward, asking his brother to throw down the rope. But when Ichupak saw the princess's grateful eyes, saw the ring glint on Igrantang's finger, saw how glory leaned towards his brother, jealousy flooded him. Darkened by envy, he decided to cut the vine. Igrantang fell. His voice echoed, "Brother, why?" But Ichupak didn't look back. He simply walked away and returned to the palace alone, claiming that he was the true hero. He presented the princess to the king and sat on thrones built on lies. Yet fate have never been fond of liars. Igrantang survived, bleeding but alive. He climbed out on the bones of the giant he had defeated. But before he could reach the palace, Ichupak's fear returned. He ordered soldiers to bind him in a mat and cast him into the sea. The waves carried him, not to death, but to a humble fisherman, Panbakong, who found the mat tangled in his net. Panbakong and his wife cared for Igrantang, and Igrantang grew flowers in their backyard. One day, the palace maid brought those flowers for the princess. She recognized the ring that the seller used and followed the trail all the way to the fisherman's house. There, standing among the blooming petals, was Igrantang. "Why did you leave me? Why didn't you come back?" But he never left her. He was thrown away. Together, they returned to the palace, and the truth unfolded. Like a storm after long silence, Ichupak was banished, sent far from the kingdom he tried to steal. But Igrantang, he rise. The king placed the crown on his head, and under the golden skies of Kadiri, the princess and Igrantang married. And it's warm and real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything looked different now that I see you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this tale reminds us that real strength doesn't come from shortcuts or lies, but from bravery and a sincere heart. Because in the end, courage brings us forward, and honesty is what truly lasts. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. I'm Agneta. Let's preserve Indonesian folklores. Thank you.
That was an amazing story. Now we'll move on to contestant number 5, Jotis Anendira.
Tes. Hello. Okay.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jyotis Arnendira, and on this lovely morning, I would like to tell you a story entitled The Legend of Roro Jonggrang. Once upon a time, in the far lands of Central Java, there were two kingdoms, the Pengging Kingdom and the Baka Kingdom. The Pengging Kingdom was ruled by the wise king named Prabu Damarmaya. He had a powerful son named Bandung Bondowoso. Both of them had incredible supernatural powers. Meanwhile, the Baka Kingdom was ruled by the fierce and greedy Prabu Baka. However, he had a very beautiful daughter named Roro Jonggrang. One day, Prabu Baka declared war on the Pengging Kingdom. He commanded, "Gather all the soldiers! Tomorrow, we will attack the Pengging Kingdom!" That war resulted in starvation, suffering, death, and more. Prabu Damarmaya was aware of this catastrophe, so he came up with a solution and asked his son, Bandung Bondowoso, to help him. To end the war, Bandung Bondowoso fought bravely and defeated Prabu Baka once and for all. He was filled with pride. At last, peace for my people! After his victory, Bandung Bondowoso looked around the Baka palace to investigate. But then, he was stunned to see a glamorous beauty in front of him. That beauty was none other than Roro Jonggrang. You must be Roro Jonggrang. You're beautiful, he praised. Her captivating presence made him fall in love with her in an instant, to which she asked her, "Your Majesty, Roro Jonggrang, will you marry me?" Roro Jonggrang, however, hated Bandung Bondowoso because he killed her father in the war. So she said, "If you want to marry me, I have a few conditions. The first one is, you must build me a magical well." Bandung Bondowoso scoffed. "A well? A well? Just a well? Easy, straight away, my princess." Bandung Bondowoso immediately got to work. With the help of his genies and his powers, it was done in no time. But just as he was almost finished, dirt started filling up the well, trapping him inside. What is this? Who did this? Bandung Bondowoso was mad. He then quickly returned back to Roro Jonggrang to confront her. You tricked me! You tried slowing me down, Roro Jonggrang! Why? Roro Jonggrang stayed calm and replied, "That was only the first challenge. The second one you must do is you must build me 1,000 temples in only one night." Bandung Bondowoso was surprised, but he did it anyway. With the help of his powers and his genies, it was done in no time. Your Majesty! Your Majesty! Your Majesty! The Bandung Bondowoso, the 1,000 temple, it's almost finished. What are we gonna do? All of a sudden, all all the ladies in waiting reported to Roro Jongrang that the 1,000 temple is almost finished. Roro Jongrang was in fear. She tried to come up with every single way to slow him down. So then, Roro Jongrang confronted all of the ladies in waiting to help her. Listen, everyone. Gather as much straw and mortars as possible and burn them to imitate the light of day. Hurry! All the ladies in waiting helped Roro Jongrang burn those mortars and straws. Seeing the sky turn bright all of a sudden, Bandung Bondowoso panicked. What's happening? What's happening? Jennies! Jennies! Come back! I order you this instant! Come back now! Come back! Bandung Bondowoso rushed to see where that light was coming from. Seeing Roro Jongrang trick him once again, he was enraged. Roro Jongrang, you devious woman! How dare you trick me! This is unforgivable! But you cannot fool me anymore! I will turn you into the 1,000 temple of the stone. In an instant, Bandung Bondowoso cast a spell and turned Roro Jongrang into stone. Today, that stone is known as Arka Durga that can be found in the Prambanan Temple of Yogyakarta. From this story, we learn to not be a trickster and break our promises. If we make a promise to someone, we shall keep it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for my story. I hope this story brings you new inspiration. Thank you and have a great day.
That was such an interesting story. Now, next I'd like to invite contestant number 6, Melona Tiku Pongsamin Panggalo.
ago, in the coast of West Sumatra, in a humble fishing village surrounded by the roar of Indian Ocean, lived a widow named Mande Rubaya. She was a gentle and hard-working woman, her hands roughened from years of mending fishing nets and weaving mats. Yet, in her heart, she carried a warmth that never faded. For she had a son whom she loved more than anything in the world. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Malona, and today I will be bringing up a story about Malin Kundang, the legend of all legend, known in all Indonesia. Malin grew up as a bright and curious boy. Every morning, he helped his mother to collect fishes from the shore, and every night, he listened to her stories under the dim glow of an oil lamp. However, life at the time was far from easy. Their village was poor, and a single strong storm could wipe out what little they had. Then one day, when the sun blazed in the sky and the waves were calm, a foreign merchant ship sailed near the village. The sailors went down to carry food and water. Malin watched them in awe. Strong men with strange clothing, carrying treasures the boy had only seen in dreams. Just then, something awakened in his heart. Ambition. The need to see the world beyond the horizon. Then that night, Malin spoke to his mother. Mother, I want to sail with the merchants. I want to earn wealth so we can live a better life. Mande Rubaya felt her heart tighten. The sea was unforgiving, yet she had already lost her husband due to its storms. But she saw determination in her son's eyes. Then, with trembling hands, she placed her palm on his cheek. If that's what you want, my son, then go. But promise me, whatever happens, you must come home. Malin hugged her tightly. I promise, mother. Then, with heavy steps and a hopeful heart, Malin sailed away, Mande Rubaya watching her, shrinking into a small speck against the endless blue. Then years after, Malin grew into a man admired everywhere he traveled. He was smart, good at trades, and had a natural charm that opened doors to foreign kingdoms. Malin was not only a sailor, she became a respected merchant. Then one day, he met a girl. Her name was Princess Nandini. She was a powerful nobleman's daughter. Then they fell in love. Malin worked harder. For months, he worked and worked and worked until he became a man of status. When Nandini's father approved of their marriage, they lived happily in the palace. Then one day, Princess Nandini asked Malik, Malik, I want to see your hometown. I want to see your family. We've been married for years. Why haven't you bring me to meet your mother, to meet your father? And then Malin froze. She cannot see the life he had lived before. He was a poor fisherman's son. Princess Nandini was a high noblewoman.
There's no way Malin could ever let her wife see her mother, her village. But refusing would raise suspicion, and he couldn't refuse her. So Malin prepared his finest ship and sailed to his village. Then, near the village, Malin's ship has come. More massive and decorated than anything the villagers have seen. Kids run to the shore, shouting, "A royal ship! A royal ship has come!" Then Manderubaya, who heard the shouts, prayed, "Please, let that be Malin. Let my son come home." With trembling feet, he rushed through the shore. Then, from the ship stepped down a handsome man, tall and strong, his wife behind, following proudly. Then, Manderubaya dropped down to her knees. "Malin, oh Malin, my boy, you've come home. I missed you." Then his wife stared. "Malin, who is that? Why is she dressed in rugs? Why is she calling your name?" Malin's face twisted in embarrassment. "I don't know her. She is not my mother." Then Manderubaya froze. "Malin, what do you mean? I am your mother. I carried you for 9 months. I nursed you when you were sick. I sold everything so we could eat. Malin, please, look at me." But Malin stayed in his place, his face cold. "Get away from me, old woman! What do you mean you are my mother? I don't have a mother so old and worthless like you." Just then, Manderubaya fell to the ground, her voice rising in fury. "Oh God! If this boy is truly my son, punish him for the sin he has committed!" Then the sky split open, waves crashing through the rocks. Malin's ship flipped. All screams, panic. His wife screaming to him, "Malin, what's happening? What is happening? What? Malin!" Then Malin shouted in panic, staring at his mother, "Stop the storm! Stop it! Now!" But it was too late. A wave swept Malin to the ocean. Manderubaya watched, still, her face cold, tears mixing with the rain. "I begged you to come home. I begged you to remember me, but you cast me away like dirt. Let the sea touch you while in Gundam!" Then the sky went dark. Villagers ran all over the place, shouting prayers, searching. Then, when the rain finally ended, there was a stone, looked like a kneeling man, hands bowed down in desperate pleasing. The villagers saw the sight and bowed their hands in fear and sorrow. His mother went to the stone and kneeled down, sobbing uncontrollably. "Malin, Malin, my son! Malin!"
longer hear her. Her curse had been fulfilled. And to this day, people of the West Sumatra tell the story to remind the people that success is nothing without gratitude, that money means nothing without humility. And to this day, the stone of Malin Kundang still lies on the beach of Air Manis, shaped by air, water, and the legend that refuses to fade. Thank you.
That was a really amazing story. Now we'd like to invite contestant number 7, Fedor Evi Pranata, to the stage. Please give a round of applause for her.
Literally ngeblank.
Check,
I'm so
check.
ngeblank.
Yeah. Okay. Iya, iya. Iya.
Lancang kuning berlayar malam. Lancang kuning berlayar malam. Good morning to the honorable judges and respected teachers. Do you recognize the song that I just sing? It is actually a traditional song from Kampariau, and it is closely related to the story that I'll be telling you today. But first, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Fedor Evi Pranata, and today I'm going to tell you a story about Si Lancang from Kampariau. Please enjoy. A long time ago, in the lush region of Kampariau, there lived a poor widow and her only son, Lancang Kuning. Lancang grew up watching his mother work tirelessly, yet she never complained. She always said, "As long as we have kindness, God will take care of the rest." They were poor, but his mother always reminded him to be honest and polite. Lancang dreamed that someday he could be successful. Sometimes he whispered to himself,
One day, one day, I will sail too. I'll earn money, and mother will never suffer again. Years passed. Lanchang became a strong young man. One evening after dinner, he finally spoke his heart. Mother, I want to go overseas. I want to try my luck and build a better life for us. His mother looked at him for a long time. Her heart felt heavy, but she knew this day would come. Finally, with trembling hands, she said, "Oh, my son, if this is your path, I won't stop you. But remember, whatever happens, never forget your house." The next morning, she walked him to the river. With a warm but sad smile, she waved as the boat carried her son away, becoming smaller and smaller in the horizon. In a new land, Lanchang worked harder than anyone else. He carried heavy sacks, cleaned ships, learned to bargain, and even mastered trade. His honesty impressed a wealthy merchant who treated him like his own son and even married him to his beautiful daughter. From then on, Lanchang's life changed completely. He became wealthy, incredibly wealthy. He owned many ships, warehouse full of silks, spices, gold. He traveled from island to island, dressed in fine clothes, surrounded by music, servant, and even 7 wives, each living in luxury. With each passing year, slowly his old memory faded. The bamboo house, the muddy fields, the mother who once prayed for him every night. But one day, Lanchang decided to return to the land where he was born. Not to visit, but simply because his ship had business there. When his magnificent fleet arrived at Kampa River, people rushed the harbor in amazement. No one had ever seen ships so large or so elegant. But among the crowd, there's an old woman in worn-out clothes, trying to push her way forward. She recognized the man standing proudly on the deck. She whispered, "It's my son. That is Lanchang, my son." But with all her strength, she climbed onto the ship. Her voice shook as she stepped closer. "Lanchang, my son, it's me, your mother." Everyone around stared with silence, but Lanchang's wife stared with disgust. "Who is this dirty old woman?" Ashamed and afraid they would laugh at him, Lanchang hardened his face and shouted, "Guards, take that old woman away! I don't know her!" Her mother stood frozen as if struck by lightning. Her eyes filled with tears, her heart breaking into pieces. Inside the small house, she kneeled and prayed. As she prayed, she took out her sacred heirlooms, a coconut shell, and a rice pounder. With a shattered heart, she whispered, "Oh God, if my son has forgotten his mother, show him his mistake." As she spun her heirlooms, and at that very moment, the air shifted. The sky became dark. An enormous storm formed above the river. His wife screamed. The crew panicked. Thunder cracked above him. But it was too late. At that very moment, Lanchang remembered his small house, the soft fence that raised him, the mother he had rejected. He fell to his knee crying, "Mother! Mother, forgive me! Mother, I'm sorry, forgive me!" One by one, his ship shattered. Silk sails flew to what is now called Lipat Kain. His gong fell into Sungai Gong, and the broken mast sank into a river that now people call Danau Silanchang. So the moral of the story is,
We should not be disrespectful or ungrateful to our parents, no matter how successful we became. And that's the end of my story. Thank you to all honorable judges and respected teachers for hearing my story. I hope from my story you get a meaningful message behind it.
That was such a meaningful story. Now we'll move on to contestant number 9, Desire Christabel Brower von Gonzenbash. Please give a round of applause.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah. Contestant number 8, Vianney Kienra.
Okay. Wala di ujung satu. Aduh, sorry. Bisa, kayaknya bisa kok. Thank you ya. Thank you ya. IP-nya harus cepat Pak. Ini dua, ini satu. Soledad, 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 a child so sweet. Do not kiss, dear sweet child. If kissed, red will be the cheeks. Did you know that is a song from Rio that sometimes played during our performances? But did you also know that Rio has a very unique fairy tale about disobedient child who abandoned his own mother? Well, relax, chill, because I, Vianney Kendra, am not a disobedient child. Because I always hold to Franklin Roosevelt quote, the greatest gift of life is family, and the greatest gift of family is respect to our parents. Without any further ado, let's just get on to the story. A mother's love is endless. It asks for nothing and expects nothing, only to see her child happy. But what happened when that love is betrayed? Long ago, by the quiet riverbanks of Kampar in Riau, lived a young man named Silancang. For he was yet kind and full of dreams, until one day, fortune changed his life. He became rich, powerful, and proud. But in gaining the world, he truly lost his heart. He forgot the one who always prayed him with tears and prayers, his own mother. And from that betrayal, a curse was born. This is a story about Silancang, the son who defied his own mother and paid the price for his pride. Yet, every morning, her mother always smiled. Her hands were rough, her clothes were worn, but her heart was rich with love. She would whisper, "My son, the world is wide, and fortune waits for those who are brave and young. So, wherever you go, never forget your mother." Years pass. Silancang becomes strong and ambitious. But in gaining the world,
he dreamed of gold, faraway ships, and treasures. And one day, he said this to his own mother. Mother, I will go. I will go to this faraway land. When I return, I promise we will never live in poverty again. While his mother, on another hand, looked at him with both pride and both sadnesses. Go, my son, but please take my blessing. Days turned into months, months into weeks. Silan Chang traded across the seas, and soon he became one of the great Manuels. He even married. If 1 plus 1 is 2, I must say, Silan Chang married to 7 wives, each more beautiful than proud than the last. The wives even dress with gold, with luxury, jewels, name, anything you want. But in his heart, Silan Chang truly forgot the small hut by the river, the village, the one who always prayed him with tears and prayers, his own mother. And one day, he decided to return home, but not as a son, as a man with great wealth and 7 wives, surrounded by gold and servants. When the villagers saw the magnificent ship, they all looked amazed. Oh my God. And among them stood an old woman calling her son's name. Silan Chang, my son, he has come home. But when Silan Chang saw her mother, poor, wrinkled, dressed in rags, he is disgusted. Even one of his wives asked to him, "Who is that old beggar woman calling you as a son? Excuse me, if this is my mother-in-law, we need a divorce." When in trembling shock, the villagers stood. They don't look amazed. They look frustrated, because how come as a son can say like that? And of course, Silan Chang, he sailed away with his wives. He left his own mother because he cannot recognize his own mother. Her mother is so sad. She even said and say, "If he cannot remember me, let the earth and the wind remember for him." Her sorrow turned into prayer, prayer into sorrow. And guess what? Thunder roared. Decks tore apart. Silan Chang's great ship struck into the lightning. His wife and his screamed as the decks tore apart. And this is a secret. Please don't tell somebody. Some of the villagers can still saw the evidence of Silan Chang's great ship. Interesting, right? Well, Silan Chang's tale is not just a tale of a pride, but a reminder. Gold will song, treasures will gone, but a mother's love will rise above the storm like a rainbow you will never see. That's all for today. I'm Fiani Kendra. Thank you.
That was such an amazing performance, guys. Now let's continue to contestant number 9.
Thank you.
Desiree Christabel Bauer von Gonzenbach.
Have you ever been to Lombok? In the heart of West Nusa Tenggara, where the sea meets the sky in an eternal embrace, they say the ocean remembers what the world forgets. Every tide carries stories of love, courage, and sacrifice. Good morning, respected judges, distinguished teachers, and dear fellow students. I am Desiree Cristabia. Today, it is my honor to invite you to journey to an island where the sea glimmers like scattered crystals beneath the sun, and every wave breathes the memory of an ancient legend, the cherished daughter of the land of 1,000 waves. This is Whispers of the Sea, the tale of Princess Mandalika, who chose peace over power and love over life itself. Long ago, in the kingdom of Lombok, cradled by emerald hills and sapphire seas, King Gonjangbru and Queen Dewi Santi ruled with wisdom and grace. The island thrived, lush fields, tranquil shores, and spirits in harmony. At its heart was their daughter, radiant as the morning glow and graceful as the moon gleaming upon calm waters. The king declared, "Princess Mandalika is a gift from the gods, a living blessing to the Sasak tribe, whose lives are bound in accord with nature and faith in the divine." However, as Mandalika grew, her beauty became both a blessing and a curse. One twilight, the queen turned to her husband.
"Our daughter's beauty is divine, yet it may divide the hearts of men."
The king wisely replied,
"Let not fear shadow your heart. Mandalika was born to bring peace to Tanjung Baru. The gods will guide her path."
As seasons passed, princes from Bali, Java, Sumbawa, and lands beyond arrived, bearing crowns, promises, and legions. Yet, behind their smiles lurked envy, pride, and a hunger for power. Rival suitors sharpened their swords, each ready to wage war in the name of love. One prince turned to another, shouting fiercely, "If she marries anyone but me, doom will fall upon this land!" Another spat back, eyes burning with rage. "Huh, then let the strongest claim her, even if the kingdom burns to ashes." Mandalika's heart quivered under the weight of fate. In the midst of anguish, she knelt by the sea and pleaded,
"Oh God, if peace must come at the cost of my life, let it be your will."
On the night of the full moon, the princess led at the edge of the cliff. People held their breath, faces painted with silent dread and confusion. Draped in royal silk, the princess lifted her arms to the heavens and cried out,
"If my beauty causes chaos, if my heart divides this land, then let the sea claim me, and may peace live forever."
Thunder roared, the waves rose high, then silence cut through the storm. The princess leapt into the embrace of the sea. The king and queen mourned their daughter. At the break of dawn, the sea glowed with hues of gold and pearl. From its depths, thousands of tiny shimmering sea creatures known as Nyale emerged. The people gasped in awe, certain that Mandalika had been reborn in the Nyale. To this day, in the 10th month of the Sasak calendar, the people of Lombok return for the Bau Nyale, a sacred festival of gratitude and remembrance. They wade into the waves before sunrise, singing songs of hope as they gather Nyale, symbols of unity and Mandalika's love for her people. Through this living tradition, her story endures. when the moon caresses the sea at Seger Beach. Listen closely, with an open heart, as you might hear her whisper. I am the tide and the wave, the wind of the southern shore. I am the shimmer of the nyale that dances upon the sea. I am the peace that binds this land, the courage flowing through every heart, and the selfless love that lasts beyond time. The tale of Princess Mandalika is more than a legend. It is the heartbeat of Indonesia's soul, a nation born of harmony, strengthened by courage, graced with compassion and devoted love. True beauty lies not in power, but in sacrifice, not in what we possess, but in what we are willing to give to others and to this nation. Thank you.
That was such an interesting story. No.
Yep. Ah. Sorry. It's okay. Kedengeran ya tadi aku nggak apa-apa. Wah, kesel maaf. Tadi lu cerita nggak? Agak kesel soalnya. Maaf.
Tes. Oke, udah. Closer? Not good. Tes. Like this? Tes. Tes.
Just if later on your voice is not stable, touch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe it.
Okay, keep sign.
Test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just get some more times up. If you're ready, then we will play.
Okay.
The judges is. My name is Joshua.
Hi.
Morning. Judges. My name is Joshua Winoto. Ivan Winoto. I'd like to tell you, the story of.
Can you tie my shoe? Shit, I'm sorry.
One is black, two more. Once they are complete, then you good to go.
Do I go there?
Now wait for the signal. No. You work here. Believe in yourself. Live on with
Up next, we invite contestant number 10, Josia Evander Winoto.
Test, test. Good morning to all the respected judges. My name is Josia Evander Winoto, and today I would like to tell you a story about two brothers with opposite personalities, Chupak and Grantang. Chupak was greedy, lazy, and selfish. On the other hand, Grantang was kind, hardworking, and honest. The sun rose over the peaceful village of Bali. The birds were chirping, and children laughed as they played. But little did they know that tragedy had struck upon their village. The king made a huge announcement. My daughter, the princess, has been taken by a giant. Whoever can rescue her will be rewarded with gold, treasures, and my deepest gratitude. The crowd gasped, and whispers spread across the square. When Chupak heard this, his eyes filled with greed. This is my time to become rich and famous. Let's go and let's find this princess. I agree, brother, but we must do it with courage and honesty. So the two brothers set out into the forest. The road was long and full of danger. The trees grew taller, the roads became darker. My feet, they hurt. Why do we have to walk so far? Because, brother, we true heroes never give up. The princess is waiting for us. Come on, let's go. Days turned into night. At last, they found a dark cave. They heard the cries of a princess. Help me, please, somebody help me. Without hesitation, Grantang rushed inside. The giant roared so loudly that the ground shook. But Grantang dodged quickly and struck back with his spear. The giant fell to the ground. Oh, brother, you have done it. I was only behind you, feeling a fear. But as soon as they came out the cave, Chupak betrayed his brother. We have done it, brother. We shall take the princess back to the palace. We? Who's we? I will take the glory. What do you mean, brother? Goodbye, dear brother. Chupak pushed Grantang into the pit. Grantang fell to the ground, calling out his brother's name. But Chupak only left and took the princess back to the palace. Your Majesty, I have rescued your daughter. Oh, Chupak, you have rescued my daughter. You shall be rewarded. Days passed, but the princess could not forget the true hero, Grantang. The princess finally told the king what truly happened. Shocked and furious, the king sent his soldiers to find out what truly happened. When they got back to the cave, they found Grantang weak, but his heart was pure. Oh, Chupak, you are a liar and a traitor. How could you have done this to your own brother? You tried to steal what was not yours. Oh, Your Majesty, forgive me. I was blinded by greed. Oh, but my child, Grantang, you may not have riches, but you have something far greater, a heart of gold. But, Your Majesty, I only intended what was right. I never wished for reward. And that is why you are a true hero, Grantang. Chupak begged for forgiveness, but it was too late. Oh, brother, I realized what I've done was wrong. I could never forgive myself for what I've done to you. Oh, brother, it's okay. We cannot change the past, but we can change who we become after it. And so, Grantang slowly recovered, surrounded by people who admired his courage and kindness. Even though he never sought for praise, he became a symbol of heroism in the village. Meanwhile, Chupak, regret filled his heart. Place by place, he was haunted by the memories of the brother he had betrayed. And so, the people of Bali remembered this story for generations. The story of two brothers, one greed and one kind. It reminds us that true wealth does not lie in rewards. It lies in the goodness of our hearts. Thank you for listening to the honorable judges. My name is Josiah Ivander Winoto. Good morning.
That was such an interesting story. Now I'd like to invite contestant number 11, Marcus Nimo Diatopan, up the stage. Thank you.
Test, test. All good. Sorry, sire. Thank you, sir. Thank you, good sir. Thank you, sir. Can we get this? Yeah, can you please get this off? Can we get this off? Wait. What is the problem? What is the problem there?
Problem?
Yeah. Is there a problem? Yes? Ah, I see. Whoa. Good morning, everyone. Judges whom I respect, and friends that I dearly hold. Today, I'm going to tell a story, a tale about a powerful woman. But first, my name is Marcos Nimodiatopan. Pleased to meet you. Long ago, in a land near the Batanghari River, lived a woman. She was strong, and her beauty resembled an areca nut. She was glowing, warm, and full of life. Her name was Putri Pinang Masak. Although she had beauty, it was not her greatest gift. It was her cleverness, her willpower, and her refusal to be ruled by anyone. One day, news of her beauty spread to a powerful king. He sent his messengers to her village. The messenger said, "Putri Pinang Masak, our king wishes to take you as his queen. Prepare yourself. We will leave by tomorrow." Yet Putri calmly responded,
Marriage is not something you can force. It is not a command given. If your king wants me, then he must fulfill a task I have made for him. One that proves his sincerity, not merely his power.
Putri Pinang Masak gave a task so extraordinary, no normal person could ever fulfill it.
Tell your king this. If he wishes for marriage, then he must build a great palace, starting from the break of dusk and the time limit the roosters crow. Only if he does so, then may my hand in marriage be his.
The messengers were surprised, as it was something no ordinary person could ever achieve in such time. And so that night, hundreds of the king's workers gathered to build. Hammers struck and torches blazed around the sites. Slowly but surely, the frame of a great palace had risen in the darkness, only growing taller, higher, bigger as the night went on. We must work faster, quicker. We must work faster, quicker. Look, the break of dawn is upon us, said one of the workers. Even Putri Pinang Masak watched from the shadows, realizing that her seemingly impossible request may actually be fulfilled.
If the palace is built, then I will be forced into marriage. There must be another way,
whispered Putri to herself. And so she grabbed the lantern and placed it near the chicken coop. Tick, tock, tick. Suddenly, "Kakarak!" Once again, "Kakarak!" shouted the rooster. Hearing the crow, the workers could only freeze in silence. They thought that dawn had arrived, even though the sky was still as black as midnight. And so, they abandoned the project, and the palace remained unfinished. That girl, she tricked me, murmured the enraged king. But a king cannot punish someone who had outwitted him fairly. And the people, they whispered
in admiration for her. She is a brave woman.
She is wise. She cannot be forced into marriage. Some tales say that she eventually ruled her own land, while others say that she chose her own path. However, all agree on one singular truth. Putri Pinang Masak was no ordinary woman. She taught her people that strength does not only come from the physical, but also the intellectual. That human dignity cannot be bought with a crown, and that even the proudest king can be humbled by a woman's willpower. So ends the tale of Putri Pinang Masak from Jambi. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you for the wonderful story. Up next, we'll continue to contestant number.
Aye.
Up next, we'll continue to contestant number 12, Eric Afriano.
Yes. Udah. I said it all. Thank you. Lelakon katresnan soko Jawa Timur ande lumur. Hello, honorable judges and teachers. Good morning. My name is Eric Afriano, and on this occasion, I invite you to travel with me into one of East Java's greatest legends, the tale of Ande Lumut. Once upon a time in East Java, there stood two great kingdoms, Jenggala and Kediri. A marriage was arranged to unite the two kingdoms between the handsome Prince Panji Asmarubangun of Jenggala and the beautiful Princess Dewi Sekartaji of Kediri. One day, the Jenggala kingdom was attacked. Terrified, Dewi Sekartaji fled into the forest. She kept running until she discovered an old house belonging to a wealthy widow named Nyai Intan. Please, I'm begging you, allow me to stay at your place for a while. I have nowhere to go, said Dewi Sekartaji. Fine. Come in, you girl. Nyai Intan replied. Nyai Intan took Dewi Sekartaji in as her adopted daughter and named her Klenting Kuning. Nyai Intan lived with her three daughters, Klenting Abang, Klenting Ijo, and Klenting Biru. Klenting Kuning was treated like a servant, cooking, cleaning, washing from morning till night, while her stepsisters did nothing but boss her around. Meanwhile, Jenggala was safe once again. But Panji Asmarubangun missed his wife. Determined to find her, he sent his guards to search for her. A guard reported seeing a girl resembling the princess in Dadapan village across the Bengawan Solo River. Panji Asmarubangun immediately went there and stayed with an old widow named Mbok Rando. He disguised himself as a stunning young man named Ande Lumut. He instructed his guards to set up a competition to find a wife for the man called Ande Lumut. The news quickly became the hottest gossip, even in the neighboring villages. Klenting Abang, Ijo, and Biru were overjoyed. They put on their makeup, fine silks and jewels, full glam, head to toes. I will win him. I am the prettiest, boasted Abang. He wants cleverness. I possess it, sneered Ijo. You are both wrong. He will choose me, the youngest, claimed Biru. They turned to Klenting Kuning, who was quietly watching. Don't you dare think a filthy mate like you has any chance with Ande Lumut. Said Ijo, Kunting Biru threw the dirty clothes at her. Now get to work. Take these clothes to the river and wash them. Kunting Kuning was tired of being ordered. She didn't care about the contest. Her heart remained loyal to her missing husband. She had no choice but to obey. She picked up the dirty clothes and headed to the river. Her thoughts were consumed with worry. I still love you. Suddenly, a white crane landed beside her, and a voice echoed, Princess, a talking goose! Kunting Kuning shouted, I'm a crane. Anyway, there is Sekartaji. You must go to the Dadapan village and join the competition. You will meet Panjias Marubangun there, and take this whip with you. Use it when you're in a bad situation. Matur nuwun. The crane dropped a whip and disappeared. Meanwhile, Nyai Intan and her daughters arrived at the riverbank, and suddenly, a giant crab named Yuyu Kangkang emerged! I will help you cross, but you must pay my toll! What is it? Asked the ladies. Give me a kiss, said Yuyu Kangkang. Driven by greed, the four women, Nyai Intan and her daughters, paid the repulsive price, kissing the crab. The crab carried them across, and they hurried to the village. Soon after, Kunting Kuning arrived. Yuyu Kangkang offered the same toll, a kiss. Kunting Kuning refused. Frustrated, she drew the magic whip and struck the river. The water immediately began to recede. Terrified, Yuyu Kangkang cried out, I will carry you across. No payment. Just restore the water. I cannot live without it. Kunting Kuning showed compassion. Yuyu Kangkang carried her to the other side. When she struck the river again and the water instantly flowed back, she continued her journey. The three sisters and Nyai Intan arrived at Bok Rando's house. As Ande Lumut appeared, he immediately smelled a disgusting stench coming from the woman. Though they're all beautiful, I will not marry them. They reek of the river and the fall Yuyu Kangkang. They must have kissed the crab before coming here. The sisters and their mother screamed, realizing the price they paid had become their downfall. Suddenly, Ande Lumut pointed to Kunting Kuning who had just arrived. I choose you as my wife, declared Ande Lumut. That's Kunting Kuning. Why would you marry her instead of my daughters? Nyai Intan shrieked. Ande Lumut smiled and stepped forward. She is not Kunting Kuning. She is Dewi Sekartaji, the love of my life. He had recognized his long-lost wife the moment he saw her. Kunting Kuning immediately realized that the handsome man was her husband. Ande Lumut, disguised as Ande, was her husband, Panjias Marubangun, disguised as Ande Lumut. Finally, Panjias Marubangun and Dewi Sekartaji were reunited. They returned to the kingdom, ruling with wisdom and love, leaving the greedy star family to face the shame of their vanity. And so ends the tale of Ande Lumut, teaching us that true beauty lies not in silks and jewels, but in a pure and faithful heart. I'm Eric. Thank you. Matur nuwun.
Hello. Thank you. That was a tough story. Now we'll move on to contestant number 13, Cecilia Dunginda Bonieta Sitohang.
Hello? Check. Okay. Together they rule the kingdom. Wisdom and love. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'll tell you a story about a princess who not came from a palace nor from a kingdom, but came from the sea itself. Well, my name is Cecilia, and I'll tell you the story of Princess Junjungbui. Long, long ago, in the land of South Kalimantan, there lived a kingdom called Kingdom of Amuntai. Kingdom of Amuntai was led by a king named Datu Alak and his beloved queen. They both ruled the kingdom wisely, and everyone loved them. However, they had one great sorrow. They had no child to continue their legacy. Sometimes the queen would look out the window, seeing the sun rise, hoping for a child. When will I have a child? A single child is all I ask for, God. The king held her hand gently and said, "It's okay, my queen. I'm sure if we pray earnestly to God, He will hear and answer our prayers." And so they prayed every single day. But quickly, days turned into weeks, weeks into months, months into years. But still, they had no child. Until one day, Datu Alak received a strange message in his dream. Someone or something called out to him, Datu Alak, come to the sea, and there your wish shall come true. A child is waiting there for you." Datu Alak woke up, and he quickly ordered his servants, "Quick, prepare the royal carriage. We are going to the sea." After they arrived at the seashore, the sun was gleaming brightly, the waves calmed, and suddenly there were bubbles. And though within those bubbles lay out a beautiful baby girl. The queen gasped, "Is this our child?" And the king said, "Yes, I think that is our child." He lifted her up and said, "And she shall be named Princess Junjungbui, the princess carried by the foam." After that incident, years passed, and the princess grew into a beautiful young woman, filled with wisdom, intelligence, and also beauty. Her presence always brought peace wherever she went. And although she was gentle, she was also very strong in spirit. People say that she was a divine blessing by the gods. And quickly, this news spread to another prince from another kingdom. And that prince is called Prince Suryanata. Prince Suryanata heard about this, and he said, "Well, have you heard about it, judges? I mean, I've heard about it. It's about a princess. They say she's full of beauty and full of honesty, and also she's so pretty. Well, I need to meet this princess." And with that, Prince Suryanata and also his servants traveled aboard to the kingdom of Amuntai. When they arrived, Prince Suryanata bowed respectfully to Princess Junjungbui and said, "My princess, I have longed to meet you. I've crossed oceans just to find you. So please, would you take my hand in marriage?" The princess smiled softly and said, "Well, if you truly wish to marry me, my prince, then you need to prove your sincerity. I need you to make me a golden temple with 7 levels in just under one night. Can you do it?" "A golden temple, my princess, with 7 levels in just under one night? Is that possible?" But after seeing the purity in her eyes, he then said, "Well, I will try, my princess, because I'm sure with faith nothing is impossible." And so that night, Prince Suryanata prayed to God, asking for help. "God, I need your help, God. I need to build this temple, a golden one with 7 levels in just under one night." After he prayed,
The wind blew strong. Creatures of light and creatures of the spirit started helping him build the temple. And as you know it, before dawn, the temple stood tall with its golden walls and 7 levels. When the princess stepped out of the kingdom, she saw this and said, "Well, I've seen you proven your sincerity, my prince, and with that, I shall prove mine." And so their marriage was grand and joyful. People rejoiced for 7 days and 7 nights. And together, Prince Suryanata and also Princess Junjungwi ruled the kingdom of Amuntai with wisdom and love. And so, judges, from the story of Princess Junjungwi, we can learn that true beauty doesn't come from the face, but it comes from a kind and sincere heart. Faith, honesty, and courage will always bring blessings and also miracles into our lives. I'm Cecilia, signing out. Have a wonderful day, and may God bless us.
That was such a great story. Now, we'd like to continue with contestant number 14, Cherish Latisha Milty. Thank you.
Bubbles?
Tadi ada pakai bobby pin nggak atau enggak? Bentar ya. Aku cek dulu. Dah. Thank you.
Cek, cek, tes, oke. Tes, 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 tes. 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 Aman. Tes. Tes. Oh. Sorry ini bisa di sini aja. Oke. Oke. Hmm. Hmm. It uh, it's okay. Um, Miss it's okay. Hmm. Can I, hmm. S-E... Can I start now? Listen, can you hear it? The wind, the waves, and sometimes, if you listen closely, you can hear someone crying. People in Halmahera said that at the cave near the sea, you can still hear that cry. But do you know whose tears there are? I'm Cheris Latisha Milti, who will tell you the story of Tanjung Menangis. A long time ago, in Halmahera, there was a great and a peaceful kingdom. But one day, sadness filled the air. The beloved king had just died. Oh no, our great king is gone, cried the people.
Ah, he was kind, he was wise. Who can ever replace him?
The king left behind the queen and his 3 children. They are Baginda Arif, Baginda Binaut, and Putri Baginda Nuri. One day, the queen called her commander to soon hold the coronation for Baginda Arif, the first child to be the next king. But outside the door, Baginda Binaut overheard their conversations. What? Baginda Arif be the king? That's not fair! I'm stronger! I'm smarter! I should be the king! Later, he secretly met the commander.
Commander, listen to me. If you help me, you'll be rewarded. You'll get this gold, and you'll be the chief minister. But arrest my mother, my brother, and my sister tonight.
The commander hesitated, but he was too afraid to refuse. That night, he sent soldiers to arrest the queen, Baginda Arif, and Putri Duri. Meanwhile, in the palace, Baginda Binaut told the people that his family had drowned in the sea. And he declared himself as the new king. The people, they clapped weakly. And as time passed, Baginda Binaut ruled unwisely. You must pay higher taxes. I want a golden palace. But, Your Majesty, we have no money left. Then give me your land. No one disobeys me. Among the soldiers, one man, Bijak, couldn't stand it any longer.
Late one night, Bijak and his men quietly entered the jail to free the queen, Baginda Arif, and Putri Nuri. Your Majesty, Baginda Arif and Putri Nuri, you are free now, whispered Bijak as he opened the door. They can finally escape quietly into the dark forest, and Bijak wanted to attack the palace, but the queen refused. No, I don't want our people to fight. Let us leave everything to God. Oh, Almighty, please protect the innocent and punish the wicked. Suddenly, the ground shook. Boom! The mountain erupted. People scream, run! The lava is coming! The mountain's erupting! The lava flowed down the hill, destroying everything in its path. Baginda Minawat ran for his life. Oh, what's happening? My kingdom, my people! He ran, but no matter where he ran, the lava followed him. Then, as he ran, he thought of his mother, brother, and sister. But it was too late to regret. Meanwhile, the lava was getting closer, hotter, and brighter. Baginda Binod ran to the beach, gasping for air. He couldn't go back. The land was burning. He could only run to the sea. He jumped into the water, tried to swim, but he was too tired. Help! Somebody! Help me! But the sea was silent. He drowned, and his body turned into a rocky cave. And from that day on, when the wind blows over the sea, people say that you can still hear his cry. And that's why people in Halmahera call it Tanjung Menangis, the Cape of Tears. This story teaches us that greed and betrayal only brings sorrow. Love your family, be honest, and be kind. Because one day, our actions, good or bad, will echo like the sound of the sea. That was the story of Tanjung Menangis from Halmahera. Thank you.
That was a fantastic story by Cherish. Now let's move on to contestant 15, Eleanor Aisha Rollin.
Test. Test. Check.
Test,
Okay.
Marvina, stop saying Marvin.
Put it around.
Good morning, judges. My name is Eleanor, and today I'm going to be telling you a story about Ande Ande Lemut from East Java. Please enjoy. Once upon a time, there were two kingdoms. Kingdom Jenggala, led by King Jayanegara, and Kingdom Kediri, led by King Jayangrana. King Jayanegara had a son named Panji Asmarabangun that later on married the daughter of King Jayangrana named Dewi Serkataji. They lived happily until one day an opposing kingdom came to attack Kerajaan Jenggala. In order to save herself, Dewi Serkataji ran away from her kingdom and went to a village far away from her home. There, she disguised herself as an ordinary village girl. She helped an old widow named Nyai Intan. Nyai Intan had 3 beautiful but spoiled daughters, Kelenting Abang, Kelenting Biru, and Kelenting Hijau. Nyai Intan adopted Dewi Serkataji and named her Kelenting Kuning. Every day, before the sun rises, Kelenting Kuning is already awake, sweeping the yard, washing the clothes, cooking, collecting water. And no matter how hard Kelenting Kuning worked, Nyai Intan would always find something to scold her for. Kelenting Kuning, why is the clothes not dry yet? Why is the floor not clean enough? Why are you so slow? And all Kelenting Kuning could say was, I'm sorry, Nyai. I'll do better. The 3 sisters would also follow. Look at her, dust all of her clothes. Kelenting Abang would say, yeah, Ande Ande Lemut wants someone beautiful, unlike her. Yeah, you should just stick to doing your chores. Meanwhile, in Kerajaan Jenggala, the prince and his guards successfully drove away the opposing kingdom. Even though there was victory, the prince did not feel any joy because his wife was gone and nobody knew where she went. So he sent out guards to go find her, any traces of her. One day, Prince Panji said with worry, where is my wife? She must be somewhere out there. I must find her. Suddenly, a guard came in. Excuse me, Your Highness. I found your wife, but she's dressed as a servant. The prince said, where? And the guard answered, at Dadapan village. And so the prince decided to devise a plan to go to the village and find his wife. He said, no one must know I am trying to find her. I will disguise myself as Ande Ande Lumut. And so Ande Ande Lumut lived in the village with an old woman named Mbok Randa. Meanwhile, the contest spread around quickly. Even the 3 sisters were excited. Oh my gosh! Ande Ande Lumut's looking for a bride. And so, oh my gosh, I must look perfect. Blue fits me the best. You, Kelenting Kuning, just stay home and go wash the clothes. You'll only embarrass yourself. Obediently, Kelenting Kuning went to go wash the clothes at a river. Suddenly, a crane came by, holding a whip in its claw. Kelenting Kuning looked at it surprised. What are you? And the crane said, Kelenting Kuning, go to Dadapan village. Your husband's waiting for you. Kelenting Kuning, still confused, says, huh? My husband? What? The crane said, bring this whip, and if there is danger, use it. And so Kelenting Kuning went on her way. Meanwhile, the 3 sisters and Nyai Intan had arrived at a river. The river had no bridges, had no boats, so
they were confused on how to pass it. Suddenly, a huge crab came out. His name was Yuyu Kangkang. Yuyu Kangkang gave them an offer that he would help them pass the river, only if they kissed him first. The three sisters, without any hesitation, immediately kissed him. And so, the three sisters went on their way to Dadapan village. When it was finally Kunting Kuning's turn, Kunting Kuning refused to kiss him. She did not want to betray her husband's honor. And so, Yuyu Kangkang refused to help cross her the river. And Kunting Kuning got really angry and whipped the river with the whip. And so Yuyu Kangkang got really, really scared and immediately helped Kunting Kuning go to Dadapan village. When she arrived, the contest had already started. The three sisters were trying to impress Ande Ande Lumut. All the women there were trying to impress Ande Ande Lumut. But none of them piqued his interest. Suddenly, he called the girl in the back, the quiet girl in the back, wearing yellow, that to come to the front. And so Kunting Kuning went to the front, confused. Ande Ande Lumut said, "Her, I choose her as my bride." Nyai Intan and many people were confused. Huh? Why would he pick someone like her? And so Ande Ande Lumut explained that he picked her because he did not betray his honor. She did not betray his honor, and that she stayed loyal. Kunting Kuning, still confused, asked him, "Huh? I'm just here to find my husband." And so Ande Ande Lumut took off his disguise and revealed himself as Panji Asmara Bangun. Dewi Sarkataji finally understood what was happening, and then they were finally reunited at once. In the end, they lived happily together. The moral of the story is to always be humble, be loyal, have self-respect, and always, always be patient. Thank you for listening.
That was an amazing story. Now I'd like to invite contestant number 16, Marvin Theodore Young.
I think I did okay.
Excuse me, are you Kimberly Abigail? I'm gonna set up your mic, yeah.
You need bobby pins? Blue?
Lu. Tes, tes, tes. Oke. I'm not gonna use this first. Hello, judges and friends and audiences. My name is Marvin, and today I will tell you a wonderful story called Si Kusuna dan Si Bawang. Once upon a time, there was two siblings called Si Kusuna and Si Bawang. First, Si Kusuna was a very hardworking person. Oh my god. Who did every single chore in the house. Even though Si Bawang was a very lazy, who likes to lie, and a person who just isn't very good. Just think of a very bad person. Si Bawang is still the favorite child because Si Bawang likes to act innocent and basically likes to act like someone who does everything in the house. So one day, both of their parents went to the market. Si Kusuna and Si Bawang was told to do some cooking. First, Kusuna said, Bawang, can you go and cook and pound the rice for me? I'll go and dry the rice later. Bawang replies, Kusuna, I'll go and dry the rice. Go and pound the rice later. So then Kusuna went to pound the rice. After pounding the rice, Kusuna said to Bawang, Bawang, can you now go and dry the rice? Bawang sighs. Kusuna, go and dry the rice first. I'll go and cook the rice later. So then Kusuna goes to dry the rice. After drying the rice, Kusuna goes to Bawang again. Bawang, can you now go and cook the rice? Bawang replies to Kusuna, Kusuna, I'll go and plate the rice. Can you go cook the rice? Kusuna thinks in her head, Bawang, I've been doing every single chore in the house. Why can't she do something for once? So then she goes to do everything. Wow. After some time, Kusuna goes to the river to clean herself. But at the house, Bawang suddenly heard her parents are coming back. Her mom asked Bawang, Where's Kasuna? And what have you been doing? So Bawang hurriedly covers her face in ash and says to her mom, Mom! Kasuna hasn't been doing anything! She should be punished! Her mom, believing her instantly, said, That Kasuna! So Kasuna comes back from the river. Hi, Mom, I just came back from the river. Her mom says to Kasuna, Kasuna, you haven't been doing anything. I'm gonna hit you now. Oh. Kasuna getting hit. Ah! Mom! No! What did I do? Mom! So she was kicked out by her mom. Get out of this house! You don't deserve to live here! Get out! So then, she goes to the jungle to rest at a tree. And she suddenly heard a weird chirping sound on top of the tree. She says to the yellow bird, Yellow bird, please peck all over my body so I can die right here, right now. So then the yellow bird goes down to peck her. But it was not wounds that came up. But it was actually gold, jewelry all over her body, a golden crown.
I'm sorry, Marvin. Your
No.
time is over.
No. It's been 7 minutes. It's been 7 minutes? What? Give me 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes. 5. 5. Come stop. Please. Please. Give me 5. Give me 5. Bro, what?
This.
That was a wonderful story presented by by Marvin. And finally, we'll close today's competition with contestant number 17, Kimberly Abigail. Please give her a round of applause for Marvin and Kimberly.
Test, test. Oh, this is all right.
Some amazing baby.
Thank you so much. Check. Thank you so much. Where the table go?
Mau meja berapa?
Oh, satu.
Taruh atas meja. Punya juga.
Oh, that's not mine. Over there. Yeah. Check, check. Good morning, judges and audience. Have you ever heard of a legend of a baby that was born from the river's foam? Or a man that sacrificed himself for days and days to pray at a great chandi just to have a baby? Well, my story is exactly that. Hi, my name is Kimberly Abigail, and I'm the very last contestant. And I'm here to present to you my story, Putri Junjungbui. Far away, deep within the emerald rainforest of South Kalimantan, surrounded by rivers as clear as glass, stood the ancient and beautiful Amantai Kingdom. Its people lived in harmony under two wise brothers, King Patmaraga, the eldest, and King Sukmaraga, the youngest. Together, they ruled with justice and compassion as their land flourished. However, amongst all that glory, all that ruling, they have one thing in common: their need for a child. What is a kingdom without an heir, without someone to take someone's legacy after they die? So, one quiet night, as the moon shone silver across the palace courtyard, King Sukmaraga knelt down the palace altar and prayed. Oh heavens, please, I beg of you, give me a child. I've waited so many years for a child, yet it has never come to me. Please, give me a child. Months later, his wife, a miracle happened. His wife bore two strong sons, loyal to their father and worthy of the throne to Amantai Kingdom. King Patmaraga, he was happy. He was so happy as he picked up one of the babies. The baby wailed in his arms. Such a healthy baby, he thought. But envy creeped into his heart. My brother? He has a child? Yet I don't have any. We're supposed to go through everything together. Why don't I have a child, but he does? That night, unable to sleep, King Patmaraga knelt down on his bed and thought, maybe I should try praying to the heavens too. Maybe they can give me the miracle that I've been waiting for years. So, King Patmaraga prayed, oh dear heavens, you heard my brother's prayer. What about mine? Hear my prayer. I pray so that I could have a child that I love so deeply for years, and that I will care for them. Even if it's a daughter, I will give her my throne, all my wealth, everything to her. Then he finally slept. In his dream, he found himself in a great Chandi. This Chandi was none other than the forgotten Chandi beyond of Amantai Kingdom. He saw himself kneeling, crying down for a child. Give me a child! Give me a child! Then he woke up. He saw himself in the mirror, sweating with golden tears and cold sweat. He thought to himself, this isn't a dream. It's not just a dream. It was a vision. The next morning, he went with his loyal soldier, Datuk Pujung, to go to the outskirts of Amantai, to the great Chandi, where he knelt down and prayed for days and nights as Datuk Pujung stood guard. However, he prayed there for so long, he began to lose hope. He stood up. I guess the heavens have not heard my call. I should just trust in what they have. Then he walked home sadly. But as he walked home, Datuk Pujung suddenly pointed ahead. Your Majesty! Your Majesty, look! I saw something in the waterfall. King Patmaraga immediately knelt down in the river and picked up a basket with a baby girl. She was crying. Then it spoke. Oh dear king, you have found me. I'm your daughter sent here by the heavens. But I will become your daughter in 2 rules. First, you must give me 40 maidens to weave a blanket for me to sunrise. Then, you have to make them my loyal servants and give me 1 caretaker. Astonished but faithful, the king sent Datuk Pujung back to the palace to get the 40 maids that the baby wished for. King Sukmaraga, that was still in the palace, was shocked. He thought, oh, a talking baby? But he still sent 40 maids to weave a blanket for the child. The maids were astonished and they laughed. Oh my God! The king believes in such things? Pathetic. But the youngest one stood up. Enough! The king's words are sacred. You cannot talk against them. Then they walked there to the river where King Patmaraga was, and they showed him all of their weaving blankets. He searched for one that was the most beautiful, the softest for the baby. He picked one up. Oh, this one is too bad. This one, it had holes. But this one was Ratu Kuripan's, and it was the best of all.
And at the end, King Patmaraga chose this blanket and wrapped the baby inside of the blanket. Now, what do we know about this story? This story teaches us that miracles beyond the heavens are in fact real. And anything that you wish for could come true. Just believe in God's plan and always believe that He has the best plan for us. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I'm Kimberly Abigail. Thank you so much.
And that wraps up our storytelling competition for today. Thank you to our judges, teachers, and the whole comedy team, and especially to all the participants for your effort and confidence. Enjoy the rest of JHEC 2025 and have a wonderful day. I'm Sophie, as your MC, signing out. Just to inform that our break time will be held from 11:45 to 1:30 p.m. And the judges have a room in 8B. It's in the 3rd floor if you want to rest there. Thank you.
Yes, it was a bit.
Don't forget to come back at 1:30 for the closing ceremony. Thank you.